Hello, everybody, and welcome to WC Sideshow 24. With us today, we do have a special guest. We'll get to him in just a moment. There's Jano, myself, Midnight Command, and Data King. The other person with us, the other person with us tonight is Rusty. Now, Rusty, what level are you?
I'm level 39.
Level 39. And how long have you been playing the game?
About 3 years. Never enough from start game.
So you've been around for a long time, longer than me even.
Yep.
What's your favorite part of the game? What do you like doing most?
I like smashing bases up, basically. That's what it's all about, isn't it?
It is. War Commander, right? Not Farm Commander? Is everybody else? All right. Well, let's go ahead and start with the topics. We're starting off with the level 6 components that have been added to the Cobra and the Hercules. There's also been an addition to the Raptors and the Volks as well. So, anybody have any say in what they think of these? Do you guys like them? Do you think that it's worthless, or is it actually better?
I like them. I like the fact that they're giving us the 6 components and they're reducing the size so you can actually fit more in the schematic. I like that. It makes a lot more use for your units. I was just talking to Jano about the advantages of adding some level 6 components to it, and some of them might not be as beneficial as others, but there are level 6 techs out there that are really worth it. So I personally like it, and I think it's a great thing, and it's done nothing but help a lot of players. So
now, whenever you say they reduce the size, technically they didn't really reduce the size, right? They just left it the same as the level 5 component. So it didn't take up less space, but it doesn't take up more either. Even though they added bonuses to it.
Exactly.
I was a little confused with that at first, too, because they had posted it in the forum as, like, reduced size, when it doesn't really get smaller.
Yeah, it kind of just stays the same, yeah.
What do you think, Rusty? Do you have any feelings on them?
I like the Raptors. A lot more damage.
Sure do.
With level 6, a bit more damage and stuff like that.
You use the Raptors a lot. What have you found to be the most useful for the Raptors? Because none of us really use them a whole lot.
Corrosion's good. I have the 100% damage to buildings, which is quite good for the to hit the CC. And all you need is one Raptor for one bunker. So it's quite handy. I love them,
I believe you need 2 Raptors to take out the stronghold. So anyone that's using bunker or towers, if you switch over to strongholds, you'll find that your stronghold will last longer, or they will have to use 2 Raptors to take it out now.
Yeah, especially if you have Raptor spammers in your sector.
Yeah. And you know what, you also get the added bonus to the ground units and stuff like that too. So you get some advantages that you didn't quite have with the air bunker too. So you kind of get a little bit of best of both worlds too.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. Well, the next thing that's been kind of a big change is with the missiles. They've added, I guess, health to them. Is that correct?
That's what it appears to be. Yeah.
So now they do seem to be a lot more useful when they're maxed out, but they are still pretty expensive to build. So have you guys used them at all?
I haven't gotten my. The only one that I really have maxed that I use is the PK, the Peacekeeper. I really haven't gotten around to upgrading it because of, like you said, because of the cost. I find myself needing thorium for other things, but to waste it on missiles when I can do the job cheaper and just as efficient. But like I said, I don't have it upgraded to the max level, so I was only able to use it in the preview server. So I don't know if with the changes that they made, like you said, with the health, if they become that much better. So, but they do look to be advantageous.
With the level 10 Peacekeepers, they cost 1 mil thorium in comparison to being level 5. But the level 5 is obviously 500k, which is a lot cheaper than level 10s. But the thing that you get with the Peacekeepers at level 10 is they've got reduced cooldown timing, which makes them a little bit more useful because you can actually spam them a little bit more. So I don't know.
They
Some
drop
people
faster too, don't they?
Sorry?
Don't they drop faster?
No, they don't drop faster. The only reason why they drop faster is because they've got more health.
Okay.
But other than that, I'd probably recommend you stick with either level 10 shock missiles or Deadeyes. A lot of players actually use these two missiles more often than not than Peacekeepers, purely because they're cheaper and the cooldown times on them are 10 times faster, and they also actually have a better use than the PKs because you can just like use them as decoys, unlike the PKs.
Yeah, that's what I use them for. I use them for decoys and then going for the CC with the Raptors, and then you only like lose one Raptor.
Wasting the Peacekeepers as decoys is really expensive, so you know, unless you're one of the players that just gets endless thoriums and resource at the same time, you know, go ahead and help yourself to the PKs and use them as your decoys. But I still don't think it's worth wasting it on as bait.
Now, someone here said that they take up less space. Is it just the shock ones that take up less space?
Oh, it's overall.
Overall, they take whenever they're on level 10?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. Mine, I don't think I have any that are maxed out right now. Alright, well, that's pretty cool. We also got the update with the Custom Units Pack 6. Now we all have that to use. Have you guys found anything in particular that you find the most useful out of that pack? Daddy, you want to start?
Oh, man. To be honest, no. Because, I mean, we're all using Vanquishers now. We've already got the Valkyrie level 6s, so we've been using them for a little bit. Like Rusty said, we've got the Raptor tech, so a lot of that stuff's been used. I believe they came out with some stuff for the Megas, correct?
Yeah.
Now, a lot of mid and low 30 players are finding them very useful because they don't have the Vanquishers, or they don't have them at a high level, but they already have the Megas at. So I mean, they're still pretty good for them. But I think, to be honest, the most useful one that we've seen is the Hercules. The Hercules has gotten a huge makeover as of late. We all know that the upgrade times were reduced, so now we can get them upgraded a little faster with the additional 50 range and the effects that you can put on them, and all these epic techs we've got now for them. They're formidable versus air, especially with the bonus range. So I think they're probably the best of all that pack.
I would have to disagree on you on that day. I believe the heavy gunners for all levels are more useful than the Hercules, purely because the heavy gunners are cheaper to build, they're cheaper to customize, they're cheaper to repair. And bearing in mind, the heavy gunners can be mixed in with corrosions, box shells, eagle shots, anti-armor, flame rounds, wide. So if you completely mix up your heavy gunners, spread them all around your base, you know, you're going to be throwing corrosion down on them with just the heavy gunners. You're going to be putting fire effect on them with just the heavy gunners. Plus, you got box shot, which gives them anti-uniques on your heavy gunners, which a lot of low levels these days are finding it hard in the Titan wave defensives. So, you know, these are the things that's going to help the low levels out in events, and even in player versus player. If you just scatter a ton of your elite heavy gunners around your base with complete mixtures of these customization, yeah, fair enough. It's going to cost you a lot in thorium, but it's well worth putting the effort to get in them.
Yeah, and the colour are good then, if you spread them all over your base. You can't even touch the base normally.
Yeah,
the Raptors. The
Raptors just won't be able to break through the base anymore because of the heavy gunners. They've got anti-air shells on them now. And this really does disturb, with the corrosion effect on your heavy gunners and the anti-air shots on them as well, really messes up the Raptors and any heavy units out there.
Titan, I know a lot of players, like you said, have been having issues with the uniques. I know I've seen several on our group, Freedom Flyers. There was one person saying they can't take out the Titan no matter what they tried. And this is one thing that would be great for them to try, at least. Give it a chance.
Absolutely.
So remember back in the day when the elite, the elite rifleman first came out, And we were like setting them up on the bases and spreading them all out because, I mean, it was like no repair time whatsoever. And I mean, it was my first ever defensive only, and I think it was the last defensive only event. And I like honestly wasted that event. I was only like a level 23, and I went all the way to wave like 55 using just E-Rifleman for my base. So it kind of goes back to that time, I think, with the spreading them over base. Which, actually, mentioning them, whenever it comes to the event, I would really love to see one day customizations for these E-Riflemen instead of the heavy gunners. I mean, really giving heavy gunners first. That's a whole other rant. We'll start on that later, but really, that honestly would be awesome. Let's go ahead and move on to something that's a little bit more current, and that's Operation Cerberus 2. And with this upcoming event, we have a lot of stuff for the Vanquishers. Who would like to start off? Danny, would you want to start off with the
I'll
Vanquishers?
go with the Vanquishers. First of all, you get the schematic for it at wave 61. And that schematic alone is pretty awesome because you get some stuff that adds extra time to the shield to stay up longer. So, you know, there without actually unlocking any of the epic techs, you're getting like about 3 seconds by unlocking one of the customizations. Then once you start unlocking the epic tech, which is 71, I think that's for the dual. That's for the dual shield, and that adds you another 6 seconds of shield. Once you fully upgrade that, I think, yeah. Once you fully upgrade that, and then once you get to wave 91, you
pass.
81. I think I've totally missed something here.
Yeah. Well, I thought that was 61.
61 was BFG. That's right. 61 was BFG. Then 71 was the schematic, and then 81 was the dual shock, and then at 91 is the Peacekeeper.
It's the rupture round.
Rupture round. Oh,
yeah.
Jesus. I'm getting so mixed up. There's been so many bloody damn previews that.
Yeah, there has been.
Right, rupture rounds at 91, and oh my God, rupture rounds are awesome. Because let me just explain you how the rupture rounds work. Well, this is the kind of things that you've been wishing that Vanquishers have had from the start, purely because the only thing that the Vanquishers struggle upon is the last stand units. With the rupture rounds, it automatically kills the last stand units because it has a big blast radius, which is what everyone wants for the Vanquisher. So, you know, it's a pretty high mark to get just for that. But with that, once you've got that equipped on your Vanquisher, it's going to be one of a hell of a deadly unit, especially once you get the double shield as well. Let me just explain one way of using it. I came up with this technique of using your Vanquisher. Let's say you got 8 in a platoon. You send one Vanquisher in, let it do its deeds. Once the shield goes down for the first time, you pull it away so that it's got the second shield to keep it up there. But the thing is, the shields of the Vanquishers gets activated pretty early, so it leaves them with a lot of health. By the time the second one gets activated, you're running that Vanquisher away, and then you're going to send the next Vanquisher in and do exactly the same. By the time that all the shields of all the 8 Vanquishers have been used up, you've only lost a minor bit of health on your Vanquishers, on all 8 Vanquishers, giving you what, the maximum of 30 minutes repair time, and you've already probably taken out the CC, the rocket silo, and the drone silo with just your first unit without you losing any Vanquishers.
So what you're saying is just to kind of simplify it, because I understand what you're saying, but when using the tune of 8 and they're elite, you get a 10-second shield, correct?
You get a 30-second shield first. No, sorry.
No. I'm talking about just normally without the schematic. So you get a 10-second shield. So what you're saying is use each shield individually.
Yes.
Use it up rather than send them all in as a cluster and have all the shields activated at once. Send one guy in with a shield, have him done, do your thing. Send the next one in with a shield. Send the next. So you get 80 seconds of shielded attack.
Yeah.
Rather than 10 seconds of your whole platoon all shields going at once.
Yeah,
Great tactic.
But what you do is you pull out that first Vanquisher you send in, and then you send the second one for it to take over. So what you're doing is they're always covering each other. You're pepper potting basically, and then when you send that first one, once you've retreated that first one that you sent in, he would have only lost like 1% of health bar, which gives you less repair time for all of them to be repairing, which reduces.
That's the key, because you can get that shield back up. So that's the thing. If you don't damage them as much, you don't have to wait from the repair as long to get that shield back up. That's a great tip. That's a great tip right there.
Now let's just do a quick recap. This event does start this upcoming Thursday, which is the 19th, because someone in chat had asked. There you go. There's your answer. Now the event prizes that we have is the new ones. We have the BFG, which is at wave 61. You have to pass it. You have the Vanquisher schematic, passing 71. You have the Proton Shield, which is an additional shield for the Vanquisher, an additional one on top of what you've already got, and that's past wave 81. And you have the Rupture Ounces, which we were just talking about a second ago, and that's past 91 as well. So.
And then you get wave 151, which is the Cerberus 2 trophy. Get in there!
Which I don't think a lot of people are going to go for.
Yeah, for me, honestly, I don't even see that really as a prize. It's just kind of I don't know. It's a trophy, I guess.
I enjoy seeing it in a base and smashing the base 100% and then doing a little dance around your statue. That's what I like.
Yeah.
I'll do a little dance around your statue. I'll wait and kill the last building, and I'll go over to your statue, and I'll drive around in a circle, and then I'll go back and kill your little building. But yeah, it's silly.
And then you think to yourself, how did that statue just save your base from being 100%ed? Oh well. Yeah. Congratulations, you got yourself a trophy.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, now back to the Vanquisher schematic. Don't everybody love how we're getting the schematic for this brand new unit we just got last event? And we have all these other units out there that haven't gotten schematics yet.
Personally, me, I love it.
Right from
I've got 70 plus van in my base. I've got no mega tanks at all, and I just love smashing base up with them. You just go straight into the middle, smash the whole entire base up, and I love it.
I'm with you on that one, Rusty. I love it too.
2 people in all base. Sorry, carry on, Ashley.
I'm sorry, but that's without the schematic. I mean, the Vanquishers are awesome.
I mean, come on, with the schematic, they're going to get 19 seconds of shield. 19 seconds each. That's that's 160 seconds. That's over a minute of shield. That's crazy.
It is. I don't know. I think it's a little ridiculous, personally. Anyone here agree? Yes, no.
You know what? We can probably think of it as crazy now, but I'm sure we're going to get something to make it not crazy in a little while. So
give it another.
Well, it lasts.
They'll do something to spin it out, but still, I don't know. My poor little riflemen have been neglected, and I feel sad. Let's move on. Let's go back to the BFG. Anyone here?
Oh yeah, I like this one.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, and I think that.
Oh man, I had the privilege of doing this, and this is so much fun. Oh, it was so much fun using this event.
You want to go?
Oh man, I got this unit in the preview server, and I got it. My sole focus was to just go for this and hammer it out. I got it to level 15, and this thing is awesome. If you have the opportunity to get out there and get it, because this thing single-handedly with minor support units can take out bases, thorium, rogues, depots, you name it. It's awesome. I love it. Anything that's got a big long range with a huge rolling splash status effect is awesome. I mean, you think of it has a 450 range at max, plus it rolls after it lands. So you figure it probably gets like a 475 range at least. So it does incredible splash damage. So I mean, this thing is unbelievable, man. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm like a loss for words. I'm like a little kid.
What's your best way of using it, Jano? I know you have a certain strategy.
I'm not gonna say how I use the BFG because.
Neither am I. I'm not gonna give that up yet.
Just say what I like to pair it with because it's
we'll save this for another game or for another show.
Yeah.
Yes, after it's released, yeah.
Brand new tactic, and I actually like how I use it in comparison to what you just said there. You can actually, I can make it really, really effective in a player's base. Let's put it that way. Really effective.
And now there are players out there
Mhm.
saying it's a piece of crap
Mhm.
because it's so slow. They're saying it's useless, you know, it's easy to go take it out before it even reaches your base. But like in a unit, it all depends on how you use it. So
It is. It's really is depend how you use it. The way I found, well, I'm not even going to get into this. Sorry, sorry guys and girls. I know you like to listen to tactics, but this is one tactic that I'm not releasing just yet because I actually like this
stay
tactic.
tuned for the next show.
Yeah.
Following the event.
I've already given
But
you.
I will give a tip. I will give a tip as far as the BFG when it's attacking you in the event. I'll give a tip on that. You know, if we're gonna hold our tips back, I'll give this one since the event's coming. Move your walls away from your base a little more. The splash damage on this thing is incredible. So if it targets your walls and is able to get close enough, if you're a lower or mid-level, you don't have a high-level blitz, you don't have the big guns, move your walls away a little bit. The rolling splash damage will take out all platforms in one shot. Everything in one shot. You need to have that buffer now if the computer is going to be attacking you. You have to have that buffer zone. If you don't have that buffer zone, kiss it goodbye.
Sith Lord in the Twitch chat right now is basically saying exactly the same thing there, Data.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy the shots are. It's insane. But there is ways to get around it. So
Yeah, there is ways of killing it really fast, and there is ways of using it really effectively.
And we'll let that slide for a week or two. And we'll hold on to that, keep that in our pocket, and then we'll release it to you guys.
the big thing that's big weakness is its speed. So, you know, get the faster units in your base to defend against it.
Let's put it this way, guys. I've already mentioned a big tip on how to take it out. And I'll tell you, I'll rerun that again. Elite Heavy Gunner, buckshots. Simple as that, really.
Mm-hmm.
All right, awesome. So it seems like we're pretty in agreement when it comes to the new prizes. They're all worth getting if you can get them, except for the trophy. That's your prerogative if you want to do that or not. But anyway, let's move on to the Big Guns update. That has to do with the Challengers and Stinger components that are now level 6, as well as all the other stuff that's now level 6. As far as components go, it's just a matter of time before they're all level 6, let's just face it. But anyway, you can now increase the amount of level 25 and 23 rogues also that are on the map, or there's supposedly you've done that. I don't hit any of those rogues, so I can't personally say I've noticed more, to be honest. Have any of you guys, Rusty, have you noticed any more? I don't know.
No, I've just been hitting 45s lately.
Yeah, I just see an overabundance of still those low-level rogues. I still don't see the big ones.
Yeah, so we're still a little bit complaining about that. We'd like some more bigger rogues for those that
Not
like
that it really matters because the 45 does the job anyway for resource. And with these weekly events, or sorry, weekendly events that's been coming up, the rogue level 30s and 35s are becoming more or less and less useful for us high levels. And as for the low levels struggle taking them out anyway, so it makes no difference to them.
That's true. And talking about the weekend events, there was just a recent weekend event this past weekend for the Elite Crusader. Did you guys play it? Did you play it, Data?
I did not hit one single 45 after the Spectre weekend. No, I did not.
Do you know what? I hit 4 and I got it. But I've got one. Well, it's a little complaint on my own. I'm not going to say anything about it because I've already sent a support ticket into it.
I think several people have had some issues with this, but I don't know for sure. So, yeah, let's not bring it up.
I hit about 145s. I didn't even get it. I got about 1,700 medals in all the ones that I hit, but no Crusader.
I've heard that from a lot of players. Like, they're getting tons of medals, but they're not getting anything else, just medals.
Yep. That's all I get is medals from hitting 45s.
Yeah.
You know, and to be honest, I didn't have the Crusader or the Crusader X, so I really didn't. You know, I heard a lot of people talk bad about it. It's a tanking unit. You know, it's slow. It's got a lot of health. You know, it's probably something good you could probably throw in with the tunes. Probably just draw fire, just send it in. But you know, who wants to put in a unit that's going to take you a day to repair just to tank and absorb shots? Not this guy.
Yeah, well, supposedly the increases that have been done is it's supposed to have a damage increase, more resistant armor, supposed to reduce damage from blitz weapons now,
Mhm.
Reduce damage from all, immune to burn, immune to corrosion, increased movement speed, so it's not quite as slow. I don't know how much they increased it by. And then the capacity has been reduced from 1,000 to 500. So there has been a lot of changes made to it.
The reduction of the capacity of it is it applies to all of them. It doesn't have to be elite. Also, a lot of players in the forums was talking about, oh, but they never mentioned anything about the shock and the cryo. Well, let's put it this way: the uniques are immune to shocks and cryo anyway. So, you know, they don't have to mention that because the only thing that they were weak against was the corrosion and the fire. Was it the burn?
The burn, yeah. Mm-hmm. And the blitz. So it now has also resistance to blitz.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's an addition to have. The only complaint I really have is that this is like a chance thing. I mean, wouldn't it be nice to be able to use your skill? I always thought War Commander was based on skill, not luck. I mean, and like Rusty said, I mean, he hit 145s and still never saw it. So, I mean, they supposedly increased the chance of getting it by 5%. Does anybody know what the baseline percentage of getting it? I mean, they don't even...
and we won't know it. They'll never tell us.
Exactly. So, I mean, how are we supposed to base any of this? I don't know. It just...
Yeah. All right. I hit 20. All right. I hit 20. So the odds of me getting one are greater now.
But
that's not the case. It's a total It's totally random.
Exactly.
So.
I don't know. It just hurts people.
Oh, what's that guy's name? I kick ass.
I kick ass in all games.
Okay, there's a guy called I kick ass in all games, giving up a little bit of tip here. I'm just gonna give him a big shout out. He's saying that elite Valkyries in caves are really handy, which I do agree with him. So anyone out there that's got elite Valkyrie with schematics,
suicide vest. Must equip the suicide vest.
Mm-hmm.
They are awesome. I use them.
Yeah, here's a tip too. If you're micro healing them and you're equipping them too, don't equip them with all the unnecessary techs. If you're going to use them to suicide, give them all the damages that they need. You don't need to give them the guns or all the other stuff. Only things that increase the damage on the explosions or damage to all. Make it as cheap as you can to equip, so this way they're cheaper for you. Don't equip them unless you're going to use them.
Yeah, that does help. I mean, it makes it a lot cheaper because they are very expensive to equip.
Mm-hmm.
There's a question from Sith Lord again. Why can we not use our leftover XP on probably elite versions? I don't know.
Yeah, that annoys me.
All have
XP that goes to waste.
Yeah, like we've complained about it, I think, on the last 2 shows. Rusty, since you haven't been here, what do you think about not being able to use XP? Because we have everything.
I think it's stupid, dumb, and I think we should be able to spend it on thorium or something like that. Basically, that's all I've got to say on it, really.
Legitimate thing to spend it on. I mean, to be able to get a certain amount of thorium or a certain amount of XP. I'd say so too. It'd be a simple thing to add in. But anyway, let's not rant too much about that since we've done the last issue. We also have, this show is going to be pretty short. We're pretty much finished with it. But is there anything anybody wants to discuss before we do a special thank you? Any special topics that we left out? No?
Oh, man, not that I can think of off the top of my head.
I think that pretty much covers it. It's been pretty slow, actually, these last 2 weeks. But anyway, we want to do a special thank you for all the people who have joined us in our war in Sector 19. The only person who wasn't there was poor old Dad over there, but I'm sure he was occupied in his thing. But we have the Super Troopers, HS, SD, Bacon, WWF, Wolfpack, Sword, Havoc, Deathstalkers, Hammers, EAA, International Fighters, ECH, Death Crew Hitters, Devil Knights, Dark Force or DF, UF, United Force, Vipers, ISF, WK4F, Latinos, Hitters, GR Ghost Riders, Devil Knights, Totem KOPF, not really sure how to say that. We've got Immortals, RAW, NATO, WCP, AAF, HMC, Hell's Mercenary Crew, and then we had some solo players, which include Drunk Taxpayer, Ghost DAD, Boz, Herpes, Commando Cam, and Hume the Boss.
We all,
Did you just say?
I know.
Oh, I don't mean to laugh. Did you say herpes?
Yes.
Did you say herpes?
Players.
Okay.
Oh, and Jennifer
That's an
Ward.
original name.
we also had one more player that kicked in at the very end there. His name was Hoorah. So if he's watching this right now. Also, Heineken maneuvers, anybody? Anyone know how to do it? I know this one here does, but do you know how to do it, Data?
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry. What maneuvers?
The Heimlich maneuver.
The Heimlich maneuver. Yeah, I know how to do that.
Can you just quickly explain to us how to do it?
Can you quickly explain how to do it? Well, you get down behind a person, you get your hands in a fist, like a ball, kind of like this, right at the base of the sternum, right there, and you just want to pull. You don't want to pull too hard. You kind of like pull up a little bit.
That's right.
Why? Yeah.
Why
You got a couple cracked ribs. Did she squeeze a little too hard?
It's bad. Anyway, if anyone's ever choking, it's a great way to solve the issue. So don't laugh too hard. But
Thank you very much for that little tip you gave us there, Data.
Thank you. Good luck. Oh my God. Good luck.
Nurse data.
Landers and happy hunting.
Good luck in the event, everybody.
See you guys later.
Good
Enjoy.
luck, guys. Bye.